Hi everybody, today we are going to look at the herbs. If you remember my video from a while back, I was showing you all the different kind of plants in my house and how we had a bunch of herbs, a bunch of herbs in a box in my house and how we still needed to replant them in their pots. So we replanted them and we're going to be talking about the life cycle of an herb plant, and I'll show you what they look like now. So let's go. So out here, it's kind of windy. We have all of my herb plants. As you can see, they're now in their silver pots. They have a lot more space and they might be even bigger than last time you saw them. So here we have our cilantro, we have our onion, our chives, and basil, and let's see, we have lemon thyme, Italian parsley, I want to say. We have some spearmint, sage, rosemary, and we got a new one. This one is another mint, it's a peppermint. So we have them all with their plant friends. As you can see, the cilantro is huge. We get lots of sunlight that comes down on our patio and it shines on all of our plants. Plants love sunlight. That's actually the #1 thing that helps them grow and be healthy is sunlight. Sunlight first and then water. You need water because it's what they get their nutrients from. We drink a lot of water as people, and plants need a lot of water too. However, some plants like more water than others. So if you put too much water in them, they could die. So we don't want that to happen. So always look at what your plant specifically needs. Some plants like shade, some plants like full sun, and some like a little bit of sun, a little bit of shade. So we have them all here and ready to go. What they are in is called soil and dirt, compost. It's a mixture of dirt and some fertilizer, some sticks. This helps keep our plants full of nutrients. It's what their roots are on the bottom of the plant, way in the dirt. They're little tiny, what should I use the word? Kind of like little sprouts, but they go way in the dirt. Trees have roots. All plant life has roots because that's kind of their lifeline. It's like their heart. So we have all the roots that are deep inside of there, which we can't see, which suck up all the nutrients from the dirt, all of the water that we put in the dirt, and it goes through the stem here. The water and nutrients go up through the roots, up through the inside of the stem, kind of like our veins inside of our body that have our blood. So it goes in through the stem and out to the leaves. As you can see, this leaf, those are little veins as well that transfer the nutrients to the outside of the leaf. So very similar to how our bodies work. It's very cool. And here, these ones, the chives, they just go straight up through this grassy-like material all the way to the top. So it goes from the bottom of the plant up to the top. So we're gonna talk about the life cycle. So how it starts is you start with seedlings. Seedlings are the little tiny seeds that come in a little package, itty bitty, and you start to grow them with water and sunlight. And once they start to sprout, you'll see a little tiny bud. Let's see if we can find. So like these little tops are little new sprouts. So it'll have little tiny sprouts coming out, and then it'll grow bigger and bigger and bigger into this full plant. Then once it becomes a pretty good sized plant, it doesn't need to even be this big, but you have a couple of these leaves sprouting out, then you go to the transplanting stage, which is what we just did. We transplanted from our little seedling area to a bigger pot where they can grow, have more space, and are happier. And then from there, they start into the vegetative state, which is where they start to get, if you grow vegetables like tomatoes, start growing on the ends, strawberries, lots of fruits and vegetables, carrots, they all start growing out of the plant. Since these are herbs, they don't actually have flowers or food that grows out of them. You can just pick the leaf and you can use it, you can grind it up and put it in your food. You can smell it, lots of uses, but it adds flavor to your foods. Those are what herbs are for, to add flavor. The next stage after the vegetative and flowering is regeneration. So it's when the end of the season comes. So herbs in Colorado, where we live, they last about 2 to 5 months of the year. So really just like the spring to summertime. And then by the end of summer, they start to wilt, get kind of a yellowish brown color, and they no longer are sprouting new sprouts. This is because it's the end of their life cycle. So everything goes in a life cycle circle of life, and plants and herbs have one too. So towards the end of their life cycle, they start to get brown, wilted, their leaves no longer taste very good, and then you can decide to either compost them, put them back into the earth, and get new seeds and plants for the next year, or you can save them, keep their roots, maybe get some seeds from certain plants, and then take those, keep them over the fall and winter, and then you can replant them and start the cycle all over again. So kind of fun, just goes in a repetitive circle, and you can always have herb plants. Like last summer, we had these same herbs, a couple different, we added a few new ones this season, but so at the end of summertime, early fall, our plants will no longer serve us to add flavor to our meals, and they will wilt, and then we will harvest as much as we can, and we will repot them in the following spring. So that is the life cycle of a plant, and I hope you guys enjoyed looking at my herbs, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye everyone.